Hi, so a little while ago did a video on this remote control car, the DROMIDA SC4.18. It was really just an unboxing, sort of some of the first impressions and what I knew about the car at that stage. I've had it for about a month or so now. I've used it a lot, really enjoyed it, and it's turned out to be a brilliant car. So I thought now I can probably, with some sort of credibility, tell you genuinely how this car performs. Long story short, it's fantastic, really good. In fact, a point on that is that this is the third time I've filmed this video because of problems with my normal sort of camera. So hopefully that demonstrates the passion I have for this car, because I really want to tell you how much fun this has been. So how I use this. Initially I bought it to sort of go with another little car which I bought my 4-year-old son, and the thinking was just something we could do sort of together really. And I was thinking about getting him this one, but I thought probably a bit too powerful, and it is, although he is becoming confident with it because of the dual rate on the controller. So I'll take a look at that in a minute. But really, if I'm not out with him using it, I'll wait until bedtime and I'll take it out for a blast every evening. So sort of 10 minutes of RC fun to cool down, chill out after work really. So generally I'll take it onto dirt, sort of loose, dry dirt, over at some BMX jumps near my house. It's taken a bashing, but it's held up incredibly well. And really, not a lot's broken on it. One thing is that the aerial's snapped off, and now that's tucked down in there, no big problem there. The wheels are a little bit cracked all the way around, no biggie. I think that's just par for the course. But apart from that, pretty much no problems at all. There was a problem with the battery, which I did an earlier video about, but it was a fault with the battery, not with the car. One of the cells wasn't working, so it wasn't ever really giving it enough power. So I got back on the phone to Model Sport UK, and well, they made it right. They sent me through a better battery actually. The battery they sent me through, I think I've got over here, I know it's probably in the car actually, was a Volts 1600 milliamp hour nickel metal hydride battery. The previous one was only 12, so that was a little bit more bang for the buck, so that was good. But yeah, so as I say, aerial snapped off, no big deal. All it was a top bit of that tube snapped off, and this rubber cover was broken as well, so I've just tucked it down, and now pretty much it won't get injured again, so that's alright. Body shell, lots of bashes, lots of bangs, but no problems. The only problem that I'd say is that it bottoms out occasionally onto the body shell. There's a few rub marks there, and that's down to the suspension. It's a little bit soft, I think, but I've tried putting in all the spacers, and that's still not really firmed it up an awful lot. So what I've ended up doing, I've ended up pulling these up, and these little pegs up 1 notch, so it's got another sort of 6 or 7 mil clearance. As you probably know, these are, I believe, the same sort of bodies as Rip Max, but certainly all the DROMIDA cars, and all that they do is change the bumpers and the heights there. You can put all different shells on, put different wheels on, stuff like that, but they're all really the same car. All the sort of 60 quid jobs from DROMIDA, all the same car. So just walking around the car really, not an awful lot to report. Everything's working fine. What I would say is that the you can see that's been polished off because the wheel clashes with it. Equally, the wheel also clashes with I don't know what these are called. Is that a dog bone strut? But yeah, so I think there's probably something amiss with the alignment of the wheels. Doesn't really make any odds, but clearly something which could be improved. Yeah, so as we said before, the sort of ESC and transmitter or receiver in there, little micro servo under there, servo saver, 370 motor. That's doing absolutely fine. It gets quite hot, but no big problems. Little switch there, a bit dodgy, gets a bit gritty, fails occasionally, needs a bit of a shake, but that's no biggie. The gear mesh, I'm not sure whether it came faulty or not, but the pinion is pretty much dead now. You can see there's a step in the teeth where it's been going on the spur gear here, and they both need replacement. You know, to be honest, I think they're probably generally consumables, but you know, something was amiss there. So whether the motor's moved in for marginally in the mesh, it's got a bit dodgy, but I don't know. Thinking about what else I've done on this, pretty much the biggest thing I've done is to change the leads on the battery and create a new holder for it, which I'll get onto in a minute. But the reasoning behind that is frankly that the supplied charger, this little chap, slightly chopped up now because I've used the lead for other things, but this little charger is a 0.25 milliamp charger, and it takes about 3 or 4 hours to charge up the car for a 10-minute run. So that wasn't really to my liking. So what I've done, I've invested in this eTronics Power Pal. That'll charge up any battery, LiPo, nickel metal hydride, whatever you have. And the thinking is that, you know, if I stay with the hobby, this will probably pay dividends, and it's also allowed me to get some LiPo batteries for this car. So these come with the the XT60 plug. So I've gone XT60 throughout the system, and that's what I'll stick with now until I find out there's some issue with that sort of style plug, and that will just about fit in there. Hence the different carrier. So I've had a quick go of this, and it certainly puts a lot more power into the car. Motor gets very hot, but that might be down to the mesh being a bit problematic. But yeah, I think probably what I'll do, because this is a 2200 milliamp hour battery, still 7.2 volts or 7.4 volts. So I think probably what I'll do, I'll turn down the throttle and just go for the longer run times, because I think I will burn that battery out, or sorry, burn the motor out. As I was saying, the one of the really great things about this car is having dual rate on the remote here. So for a younger driver or someone who's maybe inexperienced, all you need to do is turn the throttle down, and that means that the car just, well, basically it runs down the max speed, so it makes it very easy to deal with. Similarly with the steering, you can run that down. I've done it a little bit because the wheels clash with the A-arms. So this is really good for new drivers. It probably will help manage the LiPos as well, because what I'm thinking is probably the LiPos are going to end up burning this motor out because it's going to run it too hard, I think. So what I might do, I might just back off the throttle so it's not absolutely thrashing it, but instead you're just going for longer run times. We'll see how that goes. We'll get some footage, but first of all, I'll cut in some footage of it in its sort of stock state, and doing some dirt jumps, and we'll leave the video there. So in summary, absolutely fantastic car, 65 quid, very well spent. Definitely do it again, and it's a great way into the hobby. Okay, thank you very much.